Hello and welcome back to Average Guy's Garage. Today we're going to start looking at a new truck that was recently acquired. I say recently, a year ago.
It's an old truck.
It's an old truck, okay.
It's recent history.
Recent. And Big John's going to tell you about it. What is it? What year?
1990 GMC. It's a half-ton. The short bed, short wheelbase, whatever you want to call it. 305, 5-liter engine. Fuel injected. It's all from the factory. Automatic overdrive, 4-speed. Let's see what else. Just a regular cab. It's got air conditioning, radio, and that's about it. Pretty basic truck. No power options. Just a plain bench seat.
You got it from auction site?
Yeah, online auction site. And it had belonged to the county road department, which is the reason for the color. I think it might have come from the factory with this color. If it didn't, it was repainted somewhere along the way. It has been repainted at least once in this color, and after the road department was finished with it, the local airport was using it. But it's about obviously 25 years old now, and it's got some rust in the normal places. Lower cab corner down here, you can see it's got some pretty decent rust, kind of the normal thing for GM. Got a little bit on the bed. It's kind of a rusty truck for being a Texas truck. It's been in Texas its whole life, but it's been a work truck, so it's also taken a beating.
What I like about it, one of the things I like about the look is those gigantic windows.
Yeah, these trucks, when they came out, they expanded the windows a lot. You notice that's a big difference from the older school. The trucks they made up to about 1986, they had different look to them, really. But yeah, this is a big step forward. We've already done.
Yeah, what have you did some work on the muffler.
I put a muffler on it. Put new taillight clusters in it already. New tag light. That's all for inspection purposes. New door locks. Put a couple of used tires on it. When I bought it, it didn't have a battery. It's had a battery already and an alternator now. The alternator went bad. I haven't done very many miles on it because it doesn't have an inspection. It needs the brakes repaired in order to get the inspection on it here in Texas. And after that, we've got a lot of different little jobs to do.
Let's go look around the back. Now, this used to have for a gooseneck, right, or something like that?
I'm not sure what was in it. It was all pretty well stripped out, but this back bumper you can see is, I mean, it's like something out of a shipyard. There's enough steel there to, support a few skyscrapers. These guys went nuts putting this bumper on there, and it's nice. I think it's a good thing. But it's obviously meant to tow something quite heavy.
Right.
And it was used on private property. I say that it's on a private property. It was on
municipal.
Right. Yeah, it was on an airport facility and didn't leave, so it actually didn't need to have an inspection on it. And the last time it was inspected, that it's got a sticker, was the year 2000.
Yeah.
And nowadays you don't actually need an inspection sticker here in Texas. You just get it as part of your registration. But it's been 14 years or 15 years without an inspection on it. But the truck seems to run pretty good. It starts and runs, drives, but needed a lot of help before it got to this stage, and still got a lot of projects we can do with this one.
What are some of the things you're gonna do?
Well, we've got a nice long list. Let me see. We've got just a general service that we need to do to it. Probably tune up and things like this. Nothing major. It doesn't run too badly at the moment, but it came without a battery. I mentioned came without a blower motor for the air conditioning. Picked that up already. We'll probably put that in. Got U-bolts that are broken and in the rear suspension, rear brakes, like I mentioned. The interior that you're looking at there is sort of an odd mix of colors. We've got a black dashboard and steering wheel.
Right.
The rest of the interior is sort of a medium sort of blue color and not particularly attractive. None of it really goes with this lime green color. Not that anything really does.
Did you take the headliner off, or was that?
There was a headliner in it, but it wasn't much to it. It wasn't very sumptuous, you know. It was just a plain
Deteriorating
piece of cardboard with a little bit of fabric wrapped around it. This rear window is something that I'd like to do something about, because the sliding part of it isn't secure. The latch is missing from long ago.
No, okay.
And I'd like to make it secure, but I'm not sure if I'm going to replace it altogether or repair this one, or just go with just a plain window that's just one piece and doesn't open. These top bed rails are in kind of bad shape, or pretty rusty. I was going to clean these up and try to cover these up, because there's an awful lot to do there to get that paint to look right again. And
yeah, you had some good ideas of that.
Dress it up with some covers, the bed rail covers. Put new door locks in it. Both of the door locks we didn't even have a key for when we first got it.
Only a key for the ignition.
That's right. And let's see what else we got.
Let's look under.
Thinking about tinting the windows. That would be a good idea on the side windows at least. That's the engine. It's all pretty much complete.
This is a 305, you said?
305 or 5 liter. Fuel injected. Everything's like it was pretty much from the factory. I don't know that they modified anything while previous owners had it. Being maintained by a county shop, they probably just kept it in top condition. Whenever it needed something, it probably got it. Probably not true of everybody, but that's all right.
So you've done basic tune-up. You replaced the air filter.
Yeah, I think it needed an air filter when we first got it.
Did you do spark plugs too that day?
No, I don't think I've done any ignition parts for it.
Well, there's your new alternator. Looks really nice.
Yeah, the alternator kind of sort of threw up a red flag before I had the chance to.
I just love how much room there is inside.
It's true.
Look, if you had to work on the upper control arm, there it is.
Right where you can find it. There's a little bit of a transmission leak with it towards the rear. I noticed underneath just now that there's a little bit of a small leak from the rear main in the engine. Nothing serious, but we'll get to look over the front end just to see how the ball joints and bushings and the control arms are doing. And look over the sway bar. I looked at that a little bit earlier. The bushings in that look fairly good. And I also wanted to see about cutting a hatch in the bed, because I've had the problem before with a similar truck, a similar age to this one, where the fuel pump quits and you have to drop the tank out to get into it, and it's not the most convenient job there is. And seeing as this truck isn't probably going to win any trophies in any shows, I think we're all right to cut a hole in the bed and make it so that we can get to the fuel pump and fuel tank from the top where we need to.
All right.
But there's that and probably a dozen other little things that we're going to do. A little bit of body work, like I said. There's some rust and things that we could stand to patch up.
So we got a lot of videos coming your way as we work on this truck. And today, changing the oil. And then maybe do a couple other things to get started on some smaller projects.
Yep, poke around, just see if there's some little jobs that we can get started, start crossing things off the list and get a little bit closer to getting it roadworthy, get the inspection, get it back on the road again, daily driver, and that's about it. It'll probably just be a work truck.
All right.
But bit by bit we'll do some fixing up.
And some surprises along the way.
Well,
we're talking
one of the things, I would love to know if this truck would have come from the factory with this. The more I look at it, I think it might have come with this color. If it didn't, did it start out with just a white paint job and then was it painted elsewhere? Something like this, but that's sort of an interesting...
Well, we can see it was painted over once at least, because your tag there is...
Yeah, there's some painted stuff in the door jambs. You can see where it's been repainted.
Right.
This color. But I'm sure it was this color originally, being with the road department. All
right. That's the truck. We're going to be doing a lot of work on this over this fall and winter, while the temperature allows us to here down south.